Hello again, everybody. We are back and live on Spaces. I am ready to rock and roll here. It's George. Oh, man, already coming in hot. Nice. Get him to be a co-host. How you doing today, bud? What? How you doing, bud?
Doing very good.
Good. I hit start today on this one, and there was like some weird like hold music before it kicked in. That's
awesome.
Maybe they fixed it. I'm hoping that means they've done something with Spaces that's not. I've got my stuff up though, where I can like see my like if I'm speaking and it coming in. I don't know if that'll do anything though. You know, where you can like see the little bar. Like, I'm trying to fix it, but everybody who listens, I'll make sure we put it again. And in the chat, let us know if it pops out, please. If all of a sudden you're like, I can't hear Jake, let me know. Like,
yeah, I got my extra chat popped up, which I don't normally do. But
I do.
I'm avoiding the internet. I've avoided it the whole time.
I keep the notifications page up for it because that's where they hit first, and so. But then I gotta admit, I've done well today. You know, it's last night too. I do it from time to time as well. No, yeah, last night was fun for me because I enjoyed how it went down. We'll talk about it as we go into it. Anybody who follows me has seen because I've been very active on it. My wife went out of town at like 6 or 7 o'clock this morning, so she was asleep early last night, and I was having fun on the internet. Hey, what's up, Brad? I see you in there.
I know me and Brad got into a discussion on X yesterday prior to the event, so
nice.
We'll kind of know my point of view when we get to where we get to. But.
Yeah. Well, we've got the full show to get into. We'll get into.
You know what's cool? You know what was cool today?
What's up, man?
The Bills were down 21-0.
Damn.
And I'm like, oh God, I got some things I got to do. I don't want to do them yet, but I'll go out, did some laundry, whatever. Came back, it was 21-7. I'm like, it's still not good. Then I remembered last week. What did I do last week? I took a shower.
That's the first thing I thought was, oh shit, take a shower.
So I got everything ready for the shower and I came out and the score was like 28-25 Buffalo or something. They won. I spent the rest of the day in the shower. Just like last week. Just awesome. Like last week. Very funny.
Hey man, you got it back a winner. You know, hey, at least it's clean. At least it's not like you have to wear the, dirty underwear every game or something like that.
Nah, they keep playing every week. At least I'm guaranteed one shower a week, right?
That's more than AEW fans. Hey-oh. Sorry, that was too easy. That was,
Speaking of which, real quick, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Thank you everybody for watching the Thursday night shows. Those are, for some reason, they're a great hit. I love doing them. I love doing them with Jake. I know Jake likes doing them too, but thank you all for watching those.
Yeah, no, I've become I knew I would be, but I feel like this show here doing this on Spaces was like a good ease into going live because it doesn't feel as like live as being on YouTube and on StreamYard and all that does. But no, it's been a lot of fun. And yeah, the last 2 Thursday live shows and the live deadline watch party have all been, whether we had good attendances on all 3 of them live, but the replay gang, I really appreciate you guys because all of a sudden it'll take off. And every time you guys watch and like and comment, that just helps it get pushed into the algorithm again. Sometimes things will take a couple of days and then all of a sudden they hit the algorithm. And then because of how YouTube works and suggestions, other things get hit. Like our recorded episode from Friday, from the day after, then got hit. That's how it works. So we just appreciate it all. I love it.
Yeah.
It's fun to actually see numbers. Hey, what's up, D? How you doing? As opposed
it's good to see, your boy, Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL today.
Mahomes. Oh no, man. It
was torn ACL day in the NFL. Micah Parsons, Patrick Mahomes.
They've always, and this happens all the time. There's a reason why like nobody's ever won 3 Super Bowls in a row, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's because the playoffs and all that, eventually it catches up with you. It's like basketball too with like, in like the 90s where like, the Bulls had the 3-peats and then, Jordan retired or suspended for a season, whatever you want to say. But even after the second one, like you can't keep doing that. Like you play the regular season, which is long enough. And then the NFL,
no one ever takes into account the weeks of playoff time and shit.
It's so long. And then
it tears your body up, dude.
Yeah. And then you turn, there's at least a decent offseason in the NFL because you need it, but still, it's not that long. If you're ending in February and you're going to OTAs in May, June, that's not that long. Soccer's the same way because they do their season August and May.
You were telling me, you were like, yeah, soccer has what, 2 months off?
2.5. And they're usually doing international tournaments with your national team. I don't understand. If you ever seen the movie Dogma, Matt Damon's character has one of the greatest lines in the movie where he's like, because they're archangels. He's like, mass, murders are, it's the most grueling endurance trial on the planet next to soccer. And it's because of that. Cause they play August to May. And then like this year, the season will end at the end of May. And then the World Cup starts in June. Just nuts, dude. There's so much running. Just so much running.
Yeah, I'll get into it when it comes to
it
when it comes to the World Cup and stuff and the Olympics. I'll watch.
Most Americans with it. No, it's true. I always tell people, like, what happens is, and I got lucky with it with my time in London in school where I was, and my dad helped, but like, if you pick a club team, club soccer is way more intense than international, because international, they only play together so often because you got to be from the same country. Clubs, I mean, they're there, 30, 40 games a season, sometimes 60. So it's an endurance trial.
I ain't got that kind of commitment in me.
It works for me because it's usually only once or twice a week and the times work out. Although this morning took my wife to the airport, came back and my team was already down. Like I was done. I was like, all right, it would be better in the second half. Went down 5 minutes in the second half. Oh, come on. That's fine. And then the Cardinals have been terrible all season. I've barely watched them.
They have been bad.
It's the Bidwells, dude. They're one of those teams where it's like the ownership group,
family-owned team. Look out!
They're just look out. Yeah,
those family-owned teams. I got to turn myself down. I'm really loud. Those family-owned teams are something else, though, because the Colts, the Cardinals,
the Bears,
Browns, the Bengals, those teams like that. Yeah, they're all family-owned, and
yeah, no. The Colts had a couple of decent runs, but I mean, with the quarterbacks they had, if they'd have invested, they should have had a lot more Super Bowls, right? Like,
they had Phillip Rivers going today, who hasn't played.
I heard that. Who was it? Oh, it was Dr. Gina posted that, and I was like, wait, what? No, there's no way. I was like, doesn't he have like 14 kids? And isn't he like my age? No, he's older than me.
He's older than you.
He is. He's 44 and I'm 43. And I'm just like, dude, like,
he's got a lot more kids than you too.
One is a lot more than I got. Yeah. And he's got,
I think he's got 7 or 8.
I was going to say, my guess was going to be 7. That was my guess. That's why, I know he's got a bunch though. And I mean, hey, like Dr. Gina said, it's like maybe that keeps him young. And I'm like, that's a valid point. You have more energy.
No, it would make me crazy.
I was going to say that's where I'm at. If you're rich though, and you can
No, it don't matter. It don't matter. They're all yours. There's no way.
That's a valid point. Yeah, no. I would not want that.
Oh boy.
I don't even have that many. Well, no, on the East Coast, they have that many cousins, but at least they're.
I could never. There's no way. I imagine, like, the one, at least with the one that I had, you knew the answers to the questions. Like, you knew who did it. You knew what was going on. So you were good.
I am an only child, so I fully understand that. It was always like, crap. Also, there's that one thing too, where like, I will always like, the jokes were like, oh, people forget their parents' birthdays. I'm like, that's people who have brothers and sisters who they can like piggyback with. Because if you're the only child, oh, hell no. I know my mom's birthday is ingrained into my brain because it's not like I could be like, oh yeah, I'll just piggyback with you. Yeah, no, I have to get all the presents for her. And she's Italian, so I had I had to make sure I got good stuff.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Brad, you're right. He's a grandfather too. I forgot about that.
Oh, good Lord. 9 kids. Yeah. We were both wrong. Good God. Thanks, Brad. I knew it was a lot. No, I feel like if you have like 4 is a good amount, and anything over. I've got cousins, like one of my cousins has 4 kids. One of them has 3 daughters. One of them has 4 of their own, and they adopted 2 more. Good God. A lot of kids. So
if you're adopting, that's one thing, but if they're all yours.
Yeah.
Or your new wives or something. That's,
yeah. Now the one with 6 kids total, they've been together literally since high school. Like they went to homecoming together. They're, he's a doctor, so it makes a lot of sense. But I look at those pictures and I'm just like, that's a lot of kids, man. That's as somebody who's got cats. So I'm not really, not a bunch. I only got 2. It's me and my wife. My wife and I each have 1, but I'm selfish though. I admit that.
Yeah.
I like to be able to. Yeah. I stay up late. I get it. That's my wife and I are both only children though. And we kind of put that together when we were first starting to date and it started to get serious. It was like, I think you have to have that discussion. It's because we were both, I was in my early 30s. She was in her late 20s. And it's like, she was like, I don't think I do. And I'm like, I think I'm too selfish too. And two only children, you kind of realize like, we're better off this way.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, no, feel bad for my mom because I feel like she would have been a great grandma, but sorry, that's on you. You only have one. You can't put all your eggs in the wrong basket.
Yeah, you can't take the heat for that.
Yeah. Plus, too, I mean, you see what the cost of raising kids is anymore. I mean, good Lord.
Yeah, it's not cheap. Definitely not cheap.
I saw the number recently for what it was for 2024, and it was just like one of those things. You're like, I don't think would have had that kind of money. I mean, I know you get tax breaks.
I will give advice. I go, don't send your kids to college. Send them to vocational school. Have them learn a trade.
Yeah, I mean,
because I know a lot of people with college degrees that aren't working a damn thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, when I was, I recruited specifically for a college graduate program, so that's different for me. But I mean, it's true. It's one of those things that, although there are a lot of places that I've seen that like you have to put in, and because I'm like been looking for a lot of recruitment positions, they're like, you have to have a degree in HR. I'm like, I got one in history. I mean, I graduated. I'm 43 years old. What does a degree matter? You know, yeah, it is what it is. Yep. No.
What do you say we get into why we're here, sir?
Yeah, is there anything else you wanted to talk to before we get into it? Yeah.
No. Reminder,
right?
Just a reminder. I have not seen anything since yesterday. Since Brad and I last chatted on X, I have not been on except to post last night, to go to This Is Awful, and to post this show tonight. So I don't have any idea what's going on.
Right, you watched the show and then you were done with it. Which, I mean, that's one of those things that probably was a good move, because there was a lot of different discourse today that I saw, and I saw a lot of it. And you know me, I laugh at all of it because I don't get mad at people's opinions. If you do what you want, I just laugh at them with it. But I mean, overall, we talked about it ad nauseum building up to it. Like, the show was going to be to showcase young talent for the 3 matches building up to it, and have Cena stuff, all the rest of it, video packages, whatever else they wanted to do, people speaking, have, Jesse the Body Ventura there, Steph McMahon there, but it was all for that, and to have the young kids get their biggest matches ever in front of people. Like, that was, and it was perfect. I don't know. I love the show. I know a lot of people are trying to be mad about whatever, but I was like 10 out of 10, no notes. Like, I'll talk about it, but I got no negatives on it. I thought it was perfect.
I have, we'll go along.
No. What I mean, I was going to say, it started off as, here's what we knew. We saw, we're like, they're going to start with Cody and Oba. The middle two, they can do what they want, and you're ending with Cena. It made a lot of sense, because
first of all, they were in Washington D.C. and they had 19-2.
I believe it was 19-2. Because the last I saw, they had met. It was the morning of, and they had maxed out what they'd put.
So
available.
19,000. Yeah, you're cutting out a little bit. Your thing goes to. See it goes on.
What's up?
Goes on.
What's up? I'm good. We still good?
No, I can see your host button go to red, like it's muted, like right there, there.
I'm not talking, so I don't know what's going on.
I know, but it goes to mute.
That's weird, because I'm not doing that. That's weird. I'm not.
They're in Washington D.C. for this big event, so there we go.
Yeah, no, and I saw they had like 19,100 and change that morning. And I think it said like 19,200 was available, but they hadn't opened them up yet or something. I don't know how they were going to do it, but
they squeezed everybody they possibly could into that place.
What I thought was cool was how the set still looked great for being as minimal as possible. That run for Cena and Stu at the end was a tight fit. I'm surprised nobody got hit by a cord or something. That was a tight fit.
You know what seats I would love to have had were the seats right above the entrance. Those were cool.
Oh God, yeah, absolutely. No,
normally those are never available like that, because there's a jumbotron back there, whatever it is.
Right.
Those are perfect.
Yeah, no, and it was like they had that a bit at WrestleMania with some of those, but it was more like a suite situation. This was just, we are opening every possible ticket, and it made sense. Why wouldn't you? Like, God's sakes, it was.
And upon inspection, the boxes were occupied.
Yes, I did notice that as well. I thought I thought it looked I mean, I thought it looked great. It looked exactly like it was supposed to. And I watched the whole pre-show. I had it on while I was doing stuff around the house or whatever, because I wanted to make sure I saw all the video packages on my TV. But they had people out there from the moment I turned it on, and it started 10 minutes before I turned it on. There was people there out in the cold just cheering the whole time. And I watched some of the post-show too, and it was the same way. I mean, they made it an event.
Yeah, I didn't watch the pre-show because I figured everything they showed I'd see during the show anyway, which we did.
Which they did. No, they did. I just put it on just because I had nothing else to do, and I was just doing stuff around the house with it. But it was they had one of those big giant inflatable things. They had a fan zone. They really went. They treated this like a PLE, and I mean, this was
which they're not. But
but exactly. But this was the biggest way. I mean, with what ticket prices were and how they were making it, they really made it worth it. They made it as big of an event as it could be. And I heard a few different people saying how there was just WWE fans all over DC the entire week leading up to it or whatever.
Makes sense.
People made it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, right. If you're gonna go, I'm going to hit a couple of the museums or sites.
Yeah, good. Exactly. Go Smithsonian, go smaller stuff. Absolutely.
Right. I haven't been to DC since I was 20, so I would definitely be hitting some of the museums and stuff. That's great. But no, it made a lot of sense.
They introduced Cody first, which is what we kind of thought was going to happen. Remember we talked about that?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, and I thought it was a good thing for Cody to do that because again, it gets the crowd started with it. They get his singing in, they can cheer for him, and then Oba can come out. And again, it's an exhibition. He's not an actual heel. He's just not the bigger hero of the match. But I was surprised with how many people did the chant right away with the first one with the hoof. People know who he is, and I think that proves what we talked about. Yes, it's not watched live on the CW by a lot of people, but people at least see the highlights, watch stuff on YouTube. It's a scene show.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by how many people actually knew him, which I was happy for him.
Right? Cool. Yeah. No, I was pleasantly surprised. I really was. I guess, especially with how many people were singing every lyric of Cody's song. But this is also too this is one of those shows where people that are diehards were probably in that 60,000 ticket queue. This is a lot of truth. I saw pretty much every quote unquote known fan at different points. The green shirt guy had his seat, but even the guy who always wears the ref shirt was way by the announcers. There was a lot of people there that were in there for big time fans with it that have been on the show.
It was a prize ticket.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
Right. No, that's a good way of putting it. It really was a prize ticket with it. And this match was exactly what it needed to be, where, Oba got to look big and strong and dominate Cody at points. Cody would do wily veteran stuff, but I mean, Oba looked, and as I've said, they're going to make him look ready to go with wrestling Cody, but clearly there's still time needed with it, obviously. But this was a great first showing because I don't think he's been in the ring on the main roster yet that I've seen or I can remember. I know he's been in crowds, but
yeah, not like that. But you could see on a couple things he was a little behind, which is fine. And he really dominated the match, and Cody worked his ass off for him, which we all knew was going to happen. So,
right, exactly, which is why, there really wasn't anything that you everything that happened with it, it made perfect sense. It was, there was nothing wrong with it at all with it. It was what we thought it was going to be, and it wasn't that long.
Yeah, and you couldn't have a winner.
Yeah, no, and that's when we talked about it, we talked about how we weren't sure what was going to happen or how they're going to do it. And we said how it didn't matter. And I got to give a credit to Mike Glass, who's in the crowd now. He said it, on our post, I think on my post about the show was well, Drew McIntyre is going to interfere. Just what does that do for the match? And having it go to a DQ is a perfect finish. It's not people are oh, it's a dusty finish. No, guys, a dusty finish. Right. A dusty finish means the win. Yeah, it's a different thing. It's just a DQ because Drew has beef with Cody. And then you got to have the moment of Oba and Drew looking at each other too.
That
and people
was scary.
Go, oh God. Right.
That was a little scary looking.
I feel like that. In the old days, that would have been your war champions were to have a singles combat and you don't have battle Scotland's champion versus Nigeria. Jesus.
So before that DQ happened though, Oba, when he threw that uppercut that blew Cody through the announce desk and busted his ear wide open.
Yeah.
That was a real cool spot. It was done very well. And obviously Cody got hurt, but It was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
But that's, because I'm sure Cody, because I know from what we all know of Cody, I'm sure he told Oba beforehand, like, lay it in, man. It's good for the business. That was like what he did with Travis Scott. Right, I get that. I mean, but that's Cody. I mean, it was a bit too much when he had Shawn Spears hit him with the shaved chair. Shaved. That's Cody, and that's who he is. But it was perfect. It was how you showcase him. You really didn't have him look silly. You didn't, accentuate the positives, hide the negatives. The Paul Heyman special, and it was like 10 minutes, I think, or just under.
Yeah, if you ever watch Saturday night's main events, I defy you to find an event from Saturday night's main event where there hasn't been at least one, if not two, possibly three disqualifications in an evening.
Right.
I've looked through them all. Yeah. I've looked through them all, did research for this for a while back, and I remember seeing the DQs going, wow.
Yeah.
So,
because especially back in the day when they started, I guess it was a showcase. This was a commercial for WWE. I mean, that's why they aired it the way they would, where they would have the main event go on first or second before midnight, because you're trying to get people. The idea is, I will go buy a ticket to this live, or with WWE Now, or hey, I'll subscribe to Netflix, or keep my Peacock because this seems cool, or whatever it is. It's all follow them on YouTube. I think that's what they want anymore with it, with the stories of the Vault channel going to, or the WWE library going to the YouTube Vault channel, which makes the most sense in the absolute world.
Yeah, but you didn't want anybody losing this match, taking an L for no. I mean, nobody needed to get pinned here.
Yeah, and you got to have the moment where, because of Drew being the heel, Cody gets to bring the belts to Oba and hold his hand up and give him the seal of approval. Like, you had that moment of
which
Cody
will be
raising
happening
Oba's
all
hand.
through the night.
Right? And that was what this was. This was Cena passing the torch, using his name to pass the torch to the NXT cut. And that's why they picked who they picked. There might be better wrestlers in NXT right now and could have better matches, but these four are probably pegged to be pretty huge stars, I would think. So it just made a lot of sense. I thought it was perfect. It was one of those things where, like, this is how you start off the show. Like, it was great.
First match was good. I enjoyed it. DQ was fine. I have no problem.
And because there wasn't any heel versus heel matches, except for, or there wasn't any heels in the match, they were babyface, aside from the last one, you got to sprinkle some heat in the show, which I thought was good. I thought that was smart, especially early, and that made a lot of sense, because you weren't going to get any in the next match, because it was.
But you had everybody, every single person. When Drew comes in and he's standing next to Oba, you're looking at that going,
yeah,
wow, this is a sight to see here, boys.
Yep, and when they call Oba up, it will be ready, and whether he might make an appearance in the Royal Rumble, I'm not sure, but once he's ready, and that's why I keep saying, don't bring him up too soon, because with his size and his aura, he can't be, if it goes bad, he becomes Brodus Clay, and we don't want that. We want it to be perfect for him. He needs to come up like Breaker did, or like Gunther did, and murk people for a while. So I thought it was.
We'll see what they do. Really he's got it in him. It's just little things. Little things. You could see it when you're watching the match. Little things. He was mistimed on a little bit here, mistimed on a little bit there. It was fine. Okay, so I cannot hear you. All right. Are you there, my friend? Okay. Chat, anybody listening? Can you hear Jake, or is it just me? Post immediately so I can go on the fly here, please. I'm assuming no one can hear you because I see the red thing on your thing there. No, okay, good. All right, no good. All right, let me see something here. Oh, you're back.
It happened. You went a little bit on me, and then all of a sudden everything was clocking. Like, I couldn't see my notifications. I couldn't see the screen. I just rebooted my.
All right, very good. Just before I was ready to introduce the next match. Thank God.
Right, no, which was good. No, it was a good time of it. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate Brad and Mike. They were on top of it. See, this is why I love you guys. Thank you. No, the next match.
I'm asking people. Trust me.
I said at the beginning. I just didn't. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. It's this that man. Yous are no good sometimes.
So what might happen, and probably is going to happen, is we're going to take the Sunday show to YouTube Live and transmit it here on X as well.
Yeah.
Just getting to the point where it's getting to the point. We're trying to be professional here, folks, and having it go out in the middle sometimes isn't the best, but we're pretty successful there at least.
We're making it work, and it does work. And like I said, I like being available on as many things as we can. And the Thursday thing on YouTube is working well, so we'll let everybody know. But if it keeps having issues, and at least this one was like a 10-15 second thing, I can live with that. I just can't live with like before where it's like, nah, you're done. You no talk no more.
Yeah, you're done.
But
Screw you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's fine. Well, hey, we're problem solvers at heart. But the next match was, like we said, it's again all baby faces. Well, at least for now. You got Sol Ruka and Zarya back together again, which made a lot of sense, and then having Bayley and Lyra come out. This is where I think that obviously they're making it look like Zarya is going to turn on Sol, but
which you've been wanting for weeks now.
Well, I think it should go the other way now, though. I think Sol should turn on Zarya.
You've been converted, but you were on that boat for a while.
Yeah, well, just because they were playing it with, and I just feel like. I just think like Sol, like we said, NXT get the kinks out down there because they don't do house shows on the main roster. You need time to work out because even Sol, they made sure to mention it with Oba and her. They've only been with the company since 2022. Like it's not like they've been there forever. And neither of them came from a wrestling background. They didn't know much about it. They got into it. Now they're picking it up very quickly, but I think she'll be fast tracked sooner than anybody else that was on the show, but I've got no problem the longer people spend time in NXT, and not just because we review it a lot, but because
it's good stuff.
I don't want to see anybody fail.
It can be unwatchable sometimes, but
Hey, the more we've watched AEW, the less bad NXT bad has ever seemed for me. It's like, some segments aren't great, but I'm like, it's better than the Bucks and Omega outside the door.
Let's not get carried away now.
You be my friend. You be my friend. But no, this was good. And this was another one where you could tell when Sol came out, like she looked at the crowd and it was like, oh shit, that's the most people I've ever wrestled in front of. And having Bayley there with her for that, I mean, aside from like maybe Natty, you couldn't ask for a better person to do it. And Bayley's a better person. And Bayley's the new Natty anyway, so it worked out. And you
Bayley's can tell I think Bayley's better at teaching than Natty is in the ring live.
Oh yeah,
Natty's probably good, right. Really good behind the scenes, but I think Bayley's good on the fly.
You're probably right. That's a good call, and that's why I think everyone, Bayley's in that position where she's got more of her career behind her than in front of her, and with what the roster is now, I'm not sure if she can ever get back to that top spot position, but she'll always have a space in that world. And
not much. She goes back to the hugger gimmick for a little bit. No, I think that's the only way it's going to come around again. If she does that for a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. I looked at the roster with Rhea and Jade and Io and Charlotte. It's like it's a big, we'll see. And with what we've seen on NXT, but I don't think I think Bayley would always have a place either as a coach in NXT, a head trainer in NXT, maybe like the lead female agent backstage. She's a Triple H girl. She's not going anywhere.
She was fun to watch. She was a lot of fun to watch during this because I noticed. Like, again, I watch things weird, so I know that, but I was watching her eyes a lot. I was watching her eyes and stuff and where she was going, what she was looking to do, and how she was directing Sol Ruka without talking to her.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, you could see it. There was a couple of different points where I think Sol was, like we always talk about with anything, you're a little bit too jittery. You start going too fast. There was a couple of times where I could tell Bayley, just kind of like a catcher with a pitcher who's like a little wild, just come out there, calm down. They'll be okay. Just take a breath. That was good. That was good. And I think having Zarya out there was also good for Sol. Just, whatever they're doing with those characters and breaking that group up, it still was good for this moment to have her, so she had a little bit of backup with her. And it worked well. And again, this was the one match that I thought the NXT could steal, and I was right, and she stole it, and it was pretty perfect. I was, You know, she got the best of Bayley after, you know, Bayley almost had her a couple times. She over-rotated the pin.
That over-rotating thing was pretty cool.
Yeah, I was going to say that worked. Like, it was, you see, you know, because you see people try to tuck it in and just, or tuck it, you know, where they try to tuck down and get a tight pin, and just, Soul's got really long legs. And
I never realized how tall she actually was. I've been watching her for a while, but I never realized how tall she actually was. I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
I think she's like 5'8", 5'9". Like, she's right. I mean, yeah, I think she's like a little shorter than Rhea, but taller than most of them. You know, I think Charlotte and Rhea are like, and well, Jade too. Jade's a house. But
I did like her handstand walk through the middle of the ring. I'm like, that's different.
Well, that's her, like, whatever her background is in, like, it's like some sort of like extra, it's like gymnastics, but more, it's like almost like a parkour gymnastics. I don't know. I've seen some clips of it, but she's clearly just very, very athletic, and her father is a drummer.
She bounced off the ropes at one time. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. Like, she's just a different chick. Like, her father is literally a drummer in a ska band, and like a decently famous one. And
which is?
I think it's the Skeletons. Let me see. Hang on. I forget the name of them. I'm not the biggest into ska. I can admit that. I mean, ska's fine, but I've never been that big of a fan of it. Let's see here. Soul Ruka.
Fine being an interesting definition of the word. No, but it was fun. It was fun to watch her. It was fun to watch her in the ring, get used to working in front of the crowd like that. You could tell she was overwhelmed at the start. You could see it.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, no. Well, here's the thing. Okay, I said the Skeletons. It's the Skeletones. I knew it was something with Skella. Now here's the thing: is I heard once that somebody defined ska music as it's what a 13-year-old hears when he sees his mozzarella sticks on the tray about to be delivered. You know, that's like that little dance move that what is it? The skanks, like that's ska. Like, that's what it is. And hey, it's but yeah, that's her dad's the drummer from that band, and so. I mean, she's just a different chick, but she turned 26 in August, so we got plenty of time. She's only been with the company since June of 2022, so she's got plenty of time.
Yeah,
but
she'll be.
I think she's
picking
up
pretty good. Yeah, she just got to get this. What I've always kind of thought is she was going to be the one to turn.
Yeah, I'm fully convinced.
I'm really hoping it goes that way, because I need to see her as a heel.
Right, that's what I was saying. Evil Dose was saying, you know, no, she's great. She's marketable. I'm like, she absolutely is, but you don't want her to go up on the main roster without having that experience to be able to be a heel. You know what I mean? Even if it's, you know, you work stuff out, it goes sour, but you're like, okay, here we've learned what not to do. You can't just, if the main roster had house shows, it'd be different. But
yeah, she's not going to go. She's not going to go sour. She's not.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't think so. She's especially with the NXT and doing it NXT with the coaching, like it just makes sense. We'll see. I could be wrong. I'm happy to be wrong. You know, I've been more right recently as we've been watching more stuff.
If Zarya turned, you had your original wish anyway, so you're good.
Yeah, it does work. But I think, I feel like the red herring is there. But no, it was fun. It was like, and again, another 10-minute match. They were both like just between 9 and 10 minutes, which made a lot of sense.
Yeah,
you know,
they were doing that to get you.
Yeah,
a little groove with some commercials in between, making everyone
happy. And commercials and the Cena video packages was what it was for. But it also, like, it's one of those things that 10 minutes or less, like, you get their best moves out there. You don't try to do anything too tricky. Don't look silly. You know, make it work. Make it smooth. It was perfect. And then we had
I know we've mentioned this before, but I do like when NXT's on Peacock and they save the commercials for in between matches. I do like that.
Yep. No, it's much better that way with it, because you put them in there. That's fine. And it's one of those things that you need to give people less things to complain about. You put a commercial in a match on streaming, people are going to complain. They do it on Raw.
I don't need to see that.
Yeah, no, especially that. And hey, credit to them. They listened to that critique. You know, there's a lot of critiques. Maybe they don't listen to as much, but this one which was viable. It made sense. They made it work. And no, it really worked for this show.
Somebody in WWE listens to our show.
I hope so.
Because that was the first thing we mentioned.
Yeah, because I was
pissed about that. I'm like, I don't need to see this shit.
Yeah, no, because that was what, like, the one in like March or whatever, like before. Yeah,
the next one they cleared it right up, so I was happy.
Yeah, they've had you're right.
Happy.
We appreciate it. Thanks for that. We appreciate that. So then they had the third match, which was the tag match of AJ Styles and Dragon Lee versus Javon Evans and Leon Slater, who
match player.
I realized watching that match that Javon and Leon put together are younger than I am.
Mother.
That hurt.
I can't think that way. I'm sorry.
Know. Yeah, I know, but it's well. Remember back in the day when you felt that pain? No, I'm just kidding. No,
I do. I was
just watching them, but it's one of those things of like you can see like, and this match was even shorter. I think this match was like 7 minutes. I think
this
match
was quick.
Short.
This was quick.
Yep. Because again, I mean, they know like you want to show them off, but I mean they're kids. You don't want it to be too big of a moment. And while AJ can be a ring general to a point, like I feel like they didn't want to let it get out of the way. They gotta have
some pretty good faith in Dragon Lee, I would think, right?
I think so, because I think he's more like a really good. He's like a upper mid level luchador. Like he's not like
I'm getting to change my opinion of him because I always thought he was just another lucha guy, and then I gotta think they have some they would never put him in that match,
right? Yeah, and he's he didn't just come straight from AEW to the main roster. He had a decent little run in NXT that I thought should have been longer, but he's definitely. He obviously like learns and listens and wants to do what they want him to do, and he's definitely wrestling more the WWE style with it.
They put him with AJ for a reason, Jay.
Yep, exactly. I was just thinking that. Yeah, no, and they had him with Ray for a bit too. Like they want him to learn from these guys, which makes a lot of sense. No, and obviously he's not as crazy as his brother Roosh, who just beats the shit out of people.
Oh, that's right. They're brothers. Yeah.
Yeah. I always forget that. And I just remembered that. It's just anytime I think of Roosh, I just think of the only time I ever in my life have felt bad for Jungle Boy was that match. Just beat the crap out of him. And I didn't even watch it live.
He's hurt again, by the way, too.
Jungle Boy. I heard that. Yeah.
Roosh and Jungle Boy are both hurt.
I just figured Roosh was on ROH and I wasn't seeing it. No, that Darby spot apparently is cursed. Yeah. Darby had it injured. Jungle Boy injured. We'll see.
Join us Thursday nights at 9:30 p.m. here on YouTube to talk about AEW Dynamite from wherever the hell they're at, England,
Manchester. They're in Manchester.
Thank you.
Yep. Nope. It took me a second too. I was like, shit. No, they're in Manchester. We will only be reviewing the Dynamite portion of the 3-hour show. I'm sorry, we're not. I might watch the Collision part, like just because my wife's out of town. I got less shit to do, but. Woof. No, but yeah, 9:30 Eastern on the YouTube channel, which is in the description of this video, youtube.com/@AltJakeTakesOn.
That's funny.
But then we had the segment before. Oh, well, I also do the other thing where AJ Styles slipped again, which now makes me think it is something that they're doing purposely.
That was planned. You could tell that was planned all the way. That was easy to figure out.
And he did it. What was it on? It was either this Raw or the last Raw where he did something similar and had a little botch. And I feel like that. Maybe this is it to like he's losing confidence and they'll lose the tag title so he can go be on that TNA show on the 15th. I feel like that's happening.
Yeah, you could tell he's done that move. What?
A bajillion
1,000 times.
And
you could tell he just did it on purpose. You could feel it. You could tell he wasn't hurt. There was nothing stopped, nothing. Yeah. No momentum changed, nothing. Everything just picked up. Like no one sold it, nothing.
And you could almost tell that he would told Leon, like, I'm going to do this at some point. Just cover me when it happens. Because he went right over to him. He knew what to do. No, because even if you try to say, like, how, because I know the WWE rings are, like the nylon rope and the, like, indie rings are cables. And so was TNA. So if you even only count since AJ's been in WWE since 2016, he's still done it a million times.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, he's the guy that can pull that off. Like, no, that made a lot of sense. Which I like where that story is going because I do think it's leading to him showing up on that first TNA show in that main event. We'll see though.
Somebody called that a long time ago.
You did? No, and
I asked for one step further though.
Yeah, no, and yeah. We'll be live during that show. Yeah, we'll
I asked for him. I asked him to be on the show and become the champion of TNA.
It might be the way he gets his mojo back. I could see it. I can see this working, and he would want to help TNA. Like we talked about when we talked about the TNA deal too. They have that first 60 days. Like you got to get through those first 60 days without issue. Maybe having AJ Styles as champ for the first 45 of them might be the way to do it. I don't know. It just makes a lot of sense.
It's nothing against Santana either.
No, or Kazarian or anybody. They can make. Yeah. He only can make them better. It's just
roll with the name. Yep. Roll with the name of AJ Styles. Then you roll with the name of the guy that beat AJ Styles.
Yep. And then you have it too where, AJ can win a world title in his last major run without it being one of the WWE. It works. It works so many levels. Which leading into the segment before the last match, which I didn't see coming because they had
hang on one second. Let me go back. Javon and I forget his name. What the hell?
Leon Slater.
Yeah, Javon and Leon. As a team, it's exciting to watch because you really don't know who to watch at what time. And it had me a little confused at first, not going to lie. But once I got focused on what was going on, I was impressed. They get some height on their moves, first off. They're way up there. And you couldn't pay me enough money to take those moves. I'm sorry. No way.
Yeah, no, those, it's one of those things. I remember the first time I saw Javon Evans and it was bouncy. That's kind of silly. And I saw him jump twice and I'm like, oh shit, he is bouncy. That's spring loaded. Those kids can, they're young and they don't weigh as much. They don't weigh it and you got those, that's awesome. They're a lot of fun to watch. And he was even cool, where Michael Cole was talking about how Leon Slater's family was watching in England early in the morning.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, they really, I swear, I still think to this day, nobody has benefited more from Vince leaving than Michael Cole, where he's just been allowed to do his job, but not have Vince screaming at him. And he's just, again, I never liked Michael Cole all that much. He was fine. He was just there, but I like him now. He's got good calls.
He did a nice tribute to everyone that's been with him for Cena matches, though.
Yes.
That was pretty cool.
Yep. No, for sure. And that's the kind of stuff.
I'm not sure when that was actually, but I remember it.
Well, it was a video that they put it on. It was on social media and they aired it a couple of different times. We talked about Gordon Soley having Dusty and JR having, Austin. No, it was cool.
He mentioned them during the broadcast.
Oh, no.
During the broadcast, he came out and said, I want to thank Taz, JR,
forgot about that. You're
Bradshaw.
Right.
The King, he thanked them all in live time, so that was pretty cool.
Bradshaw was an underrated announcer. I always thought he was pretty good at being a douche on that. He was great. His little one-liners to Cole. No, I mean, it's crazy to realize that Michael Cole was there during the Attitude Era. He was in the back being interviewed and then had to replace JR for a while. I was a big fan of all of that.
It was just good to see him not caring about where they are now. Just giving him a shout out. That was fun.
They've done, and that's been something that Triple H has done a lot of. When Sting retired, they shouted it out, and they've done other things with that where they've talked about different things that just, never would have happened in the old days. And it's great to happen because that's I don't care. We're not going to talk about it. It doesn't exist. Yes, it does. It's right there. We can see it. Calm down. Yeah. I never really got all of that. They usually they can't mention it at all, or they're going to make video segments about Ted Turner. You're either going to go full in or no in.
Yeah, they brought it back. I'm happy. It's good.
Yeah, no, I really, really liked it. And I really, really liked the segment before the last match too, where they had Tessitore and Stephanie getting into stuff about Cena, and then Miz just comes out and interrupts him, all mad. And I don't know if you noticed, but he was wearing the same jacket that he wore at their Mania match. Yeah, I thought that was great. I thought it took me a second. I'm like, what is his jacket? Oh shit, that's the one from 2011 or 12 or whatever year it was.
Yeah, I picked up on it pretty quick.
Yeah,
I know.
I thought that was great.
Cool.
I thought that was great. And then it made sense to have R-Truth on this segment, because if you're going to have him in the company, might as well use him. And with the, childhood hero stuff, I didn't really realize until he handed him the ball with the name in it of what they were getting to, of why they were doing this. I thought it was just Miz can be on the show.
What did he say to him? I forgot the line.
I
cracked up about the balls or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, no, he said something about either Nick Aldis or Adam Pearce.
Yeah, Nick Aldis.
Yeah, because he stole the balls from all. That's what it was. Because remember, there was that segment a couple weeks ago where he stole Aldis's balls. Which, we should have realized I was leading the Miz back with the whole, my balls are massive bullshit when Vince was still. That was dumb, but it made sense. And then, the moment he handed to him, I was like, oh shit, Joe Hendry's name is in there. And you realize that, if you watch, I watched the segment again online. When he opens the can, obviously Joe comes out from wherever he came out from, because you hear that corner of the audience start cheering him because he didn't enter from the front. He just entered from this crowd or whatever. And people, that was great. And then,
I thought through the crowd, or was he underneath the ring?
I think he was underneath the ring. I think he was underneath the ring. I haven't seen it. He was either that or he came out from the side of the crowd, from back from Gorilla and up the side. I'm not sure, but you could tell because Miz was still opening the ball and people started cheering, and then like he's like mouths Joe Hendry, and not everybody saw that. It was perfect. And what was even better was a lot of the IWC has been saying that, they're ruining Joe Hendry. This gimmick's dumb or it's not working. I don't know, man. They stopped playing the music and the crowd kept singing and clapping right on time where the music should be. I think he's doing just fine. That was awesome.
I think it needs to be updated. Like I said before, the character needs to be updated, ready for the main roster.
Yes, absolutely. No, absolutely. Like this is like a gimmick that like introduces you to who he is and then he can evolve it. I'm fully with you on that. But just the fact that the music stopped and the crowd kept clapping and finishing the parts of the areas, like I was surprised with that many people singing it. That was, that's, again, shows what we've been talking about. People watch NXT. Like, whether people want to believe it or not, like, people watch it. It's just, they might not watch it on.
I can also see their point of view, though. I can kind of get it, because he hasn't done much yet, but.
Right.
It'll happen.
But those people.
The one thing that's not exuded very well in wrestling today is patience.
Yeah. Oh God, no. No, I said from our first show we ever did, the reason I wanted to do stuff like this was because the IWC has zero patience and is always looking to complain. I only have some patience and I will complain if it sucks, but I'm not going to go looking to bitch. What sucked about this? And the people that are bitching about Hendry and where it is, what they're saying, like the character's dead, the gimmick's done, like it's never going to go anywhere, like it's over. They ruined it. And it's like, come on, guys.
It's not ruined. It just needs to be updated.
It does. No, it definitely does. And I feel like, he's really only been fully part of NXT since like October. So, it's only December. I think it's the
shorts or the wrestling shorts. It's something that I don't like.
I get you. I can poke the chair. I can see a chair. I mean, there could be some sort of.
That's all.
Yeah, I get you. Did you also know that he's like a legitimate wrestler? Like he wrestled in like the British Games for Scotland and stuff. Like he plays like third in like whatever like the British version of the Olympics is with like Wales and Ireland and all that stuff. Like yeah, he's apparently like he's a real tough guy. I'm like, I didn't realize all that.
Interesting.
Great with because he writes his own songs and does all that stuff. Like nice. And I met him in February. Nicest guy in the world. But I mean, then we get to the main event. I mean, what we all expected. I mean, what we were all here for. We're all for this moment. We all knew it was coming. Gunther comes out.
During the intro, I did cry a little bit.
Gunther comes out. So it's funny. and he's in the group, Cleric and Chaos and I were DMing and I was like, I'm good. Cause I knew myself. Like the build up stuff, like I can hold it. I am fine in the moment. And right when it happens, that's where I get it. And like, yeah, the moment, like the hits, it was like, oh, there it is. That was, and then.
Yeah, I thought about it. I was like, all right. Do I cry? Do I blame it on dust? The onions I'm peeling right now? I was peeling onions at the time.
Yeah, I was a chopping shallot.
I teared up. I didn't cry per se, but I did tear up.
I never cried because it wasn't. It's one of those things that like this is why he did it this way in the sense of it where you had the time to like process it. It's like. I hate to be so morbid about it, but like with death, like they always say, like a quick death is best for the person dying. It's the worst for the people that are taking it. And then like a long death situation with like a long cancer or whatever, it's better for the people that are taking it because they have time to process it, but worse for the person dying. And this was like kind of that situation. Like when somebody just has to retire or it goes away, it's like an end, it sucks. With this one, we had time. Like we knew this was coming. And honestly, like with how Cena is, I believe him. There's a lot of people like, oh, he's going to come back in Saudi, blah, blah, paycheck. Like, he's fully gone Hollywood. He's like the voice of Honda. He doesn't need the Saudi money. He can show up at the show and be a part of it. Maybe he can do a rap or something. It'll be fun, but he doesn't need to ever be in the ring, which
I can see him being part of the pre-show and the post-show, actually.
Right, absolutely. But like in a suit or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Cause I'm not a Jimmy Kimmel fan really, but in all of that celebrity stuff, he had the best line where he said, "May the jorts be with you." I'm like, why was that not the slogan? I mean, he didn't write that. He's got a team of writers. Let's be real. But I just thought this was perfect in the way it was done and set up with it where we had we knew it was coming. And I'm in the generation where I should have been part of the loud male Cena sucks chant, but he shook my hand in 2008 and am a Red Sox fan and I like the guy. I liked his attitude and style. And after he shook my hand and nobody else is in the group, I've always been a fan. So I get it. It's fine. Hey, I was never a Patriots fan, at least. At least I didn't go on that bandwagon.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Yeah, no, I was only a Red Sox fan. I mean,
I can accept that. I can accept that. If you were both, I'd have to say goodbye.
No, I spent my summers in Boston is what it was with my dad, and we'd go to Fenway, and they were, and man, this is in the 90s when they were terrible, like real bad. So you could get like bleacher seats and work your way down because nobody was at the games.
So when Cena, before Cena's music hit, I purposely turned up the volume on my TV.
Yeah.
Just to, get the full effect. And when it hit, my sound system just went crazy.
It was so loud. I turned it up too. I did too. Yeah. Because I knew it. Because
huge.
It was one of those moments where like you had like, it's one of those like, it's like in Braveheart or a war movie where they're like, hold, and you feel like they're holding too long, but that it's the right move like that. It seemed like it was too long, but they were just peaking that crowd and it hit it right at that moment where it was full bore. And
if WWE did one thing right during this year was timing his entrances better and better as they got they got into the year.
That you're right. They did.
They make you wait with the music in the background, and then the lights would still be on. People would be mumbling and they yell for Cena. Then the Cena chant would stop.
Yeah.
And then like, okay, now the lights go down and the music hits in.
And it's got that perfect first hit too, where you just immediately know it's him. And yeah, no, it was great. Like it really, really was. And
crazy entrance. Like you said earlier, crazy entrance run those two guys running through that. I would not have done that.
I didn't realize it was that tight until Stu was behind him. Like they had the moment where like he soaks in the fans. He took the camera, pointed at Stu. They had their moment, but they're like, let's go to work. And he runs and like the hands out. Like how did no one they must have tied the records to Stu? Because I'm just thinking of like the cord from the camera to like the headset or whatever. Like they were getting they had that.
Well, they have a runner for Stu. Inch. They have a runner for Stu. Like Stu's got a guy
behind him. Yeah. But even it seemed it was just so tight.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, but it was so cool to see because that felt, Cena's always had that old school vibe about him. I mean, he learned from Cornette. He was an old school fan. Like, like the whole last real champion thing kind of makes sense. It worked. And it was, that's why the set and the crowd being there was perfect with it. And
yeah, 19,000 people, 19,200 people were there to see Cena win.
They were, but let's be real.
This could be a good conversation when we get going.
Let's
keep going.
No. Because here's the thing. Well, I mean, you knew from the moment Gunther was going to dominate and Cena was going to make his comebacks or whatever with it. But like, this was all it wasn't really until I started watching it for the pre-show of it, because I was always of the mind of like, I know DC paid more money, but Boston would have been such a great last show for him or whatever. But DC also works because Cena, especially when he was the babyface and they were doing the tribute to the troop stuff and the salute, like he was like kind of like the face of America for a while. So it worked. He was the one who told us that Bin Laden had been killed.
Yes.
So I was cool with DC made more sense as I got closer to it, and then as I watched the pre-show and the show, I'm like, all right. Okay, I'm cool with this.
I never had a problem with that. I never had a problem with the venue.
I never had a problem with it.
I would have liked Boston too, but DC is your next best choice.
It really is. It really is. Especially and you got to think, aside, like his last 3 arena shows were Boston, MSG, and DC. Like for WWF, like that's 3 of their. He just missed Philly for their biggest cities, so that worked. I know. And the match was pretty much what I thought it was going to be, of Gunther beating him down, Cena getting his moments, Cena doing his power moves.
Calling moves out?
Oh, yeah, he had to. You had to. Boy, luckily, there was enough people there that were quiet, but you could only not. I mean, that's always been John's thing.
Yeah, but last night was pretty good. I'll give him credit for calling him out. He did a good job.
Yeah, I mean, that's always
they were obvious, though. I wish we'd just try to make it a little less obvious, but that's okay. It's minor nitpick.
Yeah, at this point, yeah. The only thing I think that we should have gotten was a "You Can Wrestle" chant just for him. Like, I think that would have been cool. That's about the only thing missing with you. But I mean, you had table spots. You've got Gunther being massive, but still selling, but Gunther being Gunther. Like, it's what, I mean, he's now the legend killer. I feel like he's going to be the one to retire Randy Orton and AJ Styles, and I'm okay with it. Like, it makes sense. He's Gunther, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, which it wouldn't have hurt him if he would have lost.
No. Not at all. But I firmly believe that Cena.
Listen. Before, I know, I absolutely understand completely this was all John Cena's thought process. I get that. WWE, TKO, nothing to do with it whatsoever. All I'm wondering in my head is if, like, Triple H may have come up to him and said, listen, dude, we got 19,000 people here to see you win. Can you win? Is it possible you don't want to go on your back just this once for the people? They can go home happy, please? If that didn't happen, I'd be upset.
I get you, but like they made it if you stayed to watch everybody come out and cheer him on.
Dude, I watched everything. I don't care.
No, I'm talking to the people in the audience. Okay. You got to go home happy enough. Like they went home happy.
No. Did you hear that? Okay.
Hang on.
First off, when the match is going on and he's in the sleeper hold, that sleeper was in there forever. Like, it was way too long.
Well, yeah, I mean, but we got what I said we were going to get. I told you, I knew the one thing I knew was the match was going to hinge on the sleeper and the 3-arm drops. I didn't think he was going to throw up the 3. That actually worked really well for me with that. And then I even said
that, Jake. They teased it. You're so spot on. But they give me the 3-arm drops and he stops in the 3rd one. So I'm thinking to myself going, okay, he's going to lose, but he's going to drop his arm 3 times. That's how he's going to lose. He's not going to tap out. That's awesome. They teased it right there. That would have been the perfect fucking ending.
No, it wouldn't have. This was.
You can't have a guy slogan, never give up, to give up.
On the last match, yes, you can. He tapped out for the first time, for the last time.
That's your opinion. That's
poetic.
My opinion too. So I thought.
I get it.
I don't want a guy's slogan, never give up. To give up at
until
the end.
You have to give up. Like you're too, and that's why he smiled.
What's wrong with letting the arm drop 3 times?
Because that was his last. And like I said, because if you
what's wrong with the arm drop 3 times?
Because then he's passed out, and then he can't.
Perfect.
Then he's
worked for Austin. Worked for Austin.
It worked for Austin when he wasn't going to retire. Like Cena had to put his boots in the ring. He had to get the belts from Cody and Punk.
His Skechers.
No,
not his boots. His Skechers.
God damn it! God damn it! That was the good line. Oh shit! You got me. I got no. Oh damn it! They were Skechers. Like, hey, they got the push-ups. He's got the slip-on. I mean, hey, the face of Skechers, Howie Long and John Cena. Oh, that was good. No. Yeah, here's the thing. The whole like smiling at the end.
I didn't like
knowing
that
I did all I can. No, because here's the thing. They did the 3-arm drops, and he came back. He hits an AA. He does all of his shit.
Yes.
And it wasn't enough.
No,
and
you had me.
That was what I thought the first time.
That was fine with
when we first talked about it, and especially once Gunther was announced. I'm like, this is what I thought. This was the most logical ending. Like he gets in the sleeper, he gets out of it from the 3-arm drops. He has his moment. He comes back, and Gunther still says, "Sorry, man." Like this, what this shows is Cena in his prime could have beat Gunther, but 45, 46, whatever Cena is. Was he 48? I don't know what he is. He's older than me, but he's the older 20+ year veteran John Cena. He's 48. He couldn't do it. And then he wanted to, and then he tried to get out. And he knew he couldn't, and he just smiled and was like, this is it. You know, don't be sad because it's over. Smile because it happened. Tapped out
and
for the
crowd
first time.
Went from wild cheering to crickets in 2 seconds flat.
That's on them though. You had to expect it. Like so here's the thing. In my house, I stood up. Like once the sleeper got locked back in, I stood up I saluted, but I put my left arm behind my back like Gunther. I was like,
I yelled at the screen and yelled, frig, really loud.
I clapped. It was perfect. It was poetic. People can be mad in the moment. A year from now, 10 years from now, people are going to look back and go, that was perfect. That's how you
I don't know if I'm going to be one of those guys.
You gonna be here in 10 years?
No,
sorry,
I
had to. I had to. I didn't want to. Only because you got me earlier. I had to come back with it. My bad. I felt bad saying it, but I had to.
No, don't stop.
It's like when somebody hangs a slider and the guy's
online
like,
is fine.
Yeah, I did. And yeah, you know I'm playing. I do it out of love. No, it's like when somebody hangs a slider, the guy's like, really? Okay. You know? No, but I really enjoyed, and like I said from the beginning, I knew that was going to happen. You had convinced me, and I really did want him to win, but I knew he never was going to.
No, here's my
whole was going out on his shield.
And I even told you on our show, I go, I want John Cena to win because the last year with the heel, it's been total crap. Not total.
Oh yeah, and that's why I thought this ending was perfect. I loved it. He couldn't overcome Gunther. Like if it was somebody else, he could have get them, but Gunther's Gunther. And then it adds to Gunther's legend killer status. And then I feel bad because I don't remember who said it. I saw it on Twitter earlier today, but somebody says Gunther needs to start off Raw tomorrow. And when they say you tapped out, he can go, no, John Cena tapped out. John Cena quit. And he can shut him up with that shit
yeah, I guess.
Out.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was upset and I understood.
I get you.
I understood why people did it, but they didn't know why they were doing it. Booing Triple H made sense to the people that don't know what the hell happened. I get that. Like, people think Triple H made this call, right? Which he did.
And that's why I think he smiled so hard when they were
Yeah, because it wasn't his call. I get that.
Because I think he's like, I'm eating your heat. I'm getting booed for you, bro. And that's right. And Dressler's, that's a good rip. No, and then like that part, I posted on Twitter. I was like, booing Triple H is certainly a choice.
It made sense. It made sense to the people because they don't know. They don't know.
The booing is fine. Now I didn't hear any of this because when I had the post show on when Triple H was on, I was watching This Is Awful, so I had them muted and I was watching This Is Awful. But apparently, and I didn't see it, but I see people posting that people were chanting, "We want Vince" or AEW, and I'm like, okay, that's too far. Like the AEW is funny, but "We want Vince," shut the fuck up.
Yeah, it's not
Go back and watch like from 2014 to 2019. You don't want Vince. You don't.
The only thing I maybe, and I don't know the dynamic of it, but maybe Vince could have convinced him to win. Maybe if they wanted it that way. I don't know what happens behind it. I don't care. I just, from my mindset.
Maybe. But I feel like
if he looks at the house and he says, okay, it's 19,000, they're all crazy for Cena. Cena wants to go out on his back. That's cool. I'm all about tradition. I get it. But these people really need to win. I'll go to John and talk to him.
They didn't need it. They wanted it. Can't always get what you want.
On that event, you should get what you want. In that kind of atmosphere, this one time.
You to always say you were at Cena's last match.
And he lost. And he lost.
As well he should have. Sting won his last match.
Listen,
it was stupid.
I've been to the Bills Super Bowl. They lost. You think I like bragging about that? Absolutely not.
That's fair. I wasn't physically at the Champions League final in 2019, but I organized a bar meetup and we got a penalty. That's it. I set up this whole part. 500 people.
Yeah.
7 minutes in, we get a penalty against us. That was a bad call.
Again, I understand everything. I know it's John Cena. I get everything. I have no problem. I just the way it worked out, I wish it would have been. That's all. One night difference. That's it. It wouldn't have made no difference in anybody's life. The kids that were there would have been happy. Everyone was dancing.
That's life, though. Christmas is next week. They'll be fine. It's Hanukkah tonight. They'll be fine. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. You're going to somebody's last match expecting a win and being mad they don't win for somebody who's a time-honored tradition
I'm expecting the Bills to win the Super Bowl this year, and I'm not going to get that either. I'm going to be pissed about that again.
I guess maybe the Bills losing Super Bowls is a time-honored tradition, but I didn't want to say that. You made me say that. I wasn't going to say that. You made me.
Wow, make me hurt my feelings. Shit.
I can't not take a setup. I'm like Mel Brooks. You leave it for me like, oh, shit. All right, here we go. No, it's a time-honored tradition with going out as the loser, who puts their boots in the ring after a win? That's weird. I don't know.
It doesn't matter if you win or lose. Your boots go in anyway. Doesn't matter.
I know, but after a
did Triple H lose his retirement match? I don't remember. I really don't remember.
I don't remember.
I remember his boots in the ring.
I remember his boots in the ring.
but I don't remember who won or lost.
Well, that was at the Mania. He came back after his heart thing because he was still thinking he was going to wrestle. Because I remember during the pandemic when there was like a COVID outbreak or whatever, like he fought Randy Orton in a street fight on a Raw, like it was either Thunderdome Raw or before Thunderdome Raw. And I think technically that's his last match because that was like late 2020. And then it was 2021. He had or maybe 2020, he had the heart event. And then I was like, I'm done. So I think technically his last match is that one against Randy Orton. I think.
Interesting.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I know. He
yes.
put his boot. Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Brad, I do understand the heat that Gunther gets. I get it. I said I got everything. I understand everything completely.
You just want the people in the moment, which I get it. This is what was when like I said, when PC first announced his retirement, I thought Gunther by tap out then. And it never.
And again, none of this, I'd be having none of this argument if the heel turn thing didn't bomb the way it went. That's my whole thing, my whole premise behind most of this.
That was a bomb. Now, from SummerSlam until now, it's been great, but that's only August till now. We had February to August of woof.
Yeah.
Now, some of those promos were funny. Like, some of it was funny, but yeah, it wasn't. I mean, the last time I saw John Cena in person, he was a heel, and it was weird. And I tried to boo, but I was just like, come on, I'm not seeing you again. Yeah, nobody wanted that. But I've been able to see what I've done is I've taken all the heat from that and put it just on one person. It's The Rock. And it's like, yeah, whatever. Just stay over there. Go get your Golden Globe and go away. Don't ever come back.
That's
stay
true.
over there.
That could have made the night
I'm good.
That really could have made the night worse if you just showed up.
God, I saw people predicting it and stuff, and I'm like, oh God, no. And honestly, there was a moment where he was like, when they were putting the belt on him and stuff, where I thought Rock might try to come out and like put the People's Championship on him too. Like, here, take mine too. I was like, please don't, please don't, please don't. And then I stopped thinking about it. It didn't happen. Yeah, the belt that he got from Muhammad Ali's wife, the People's Championship belt that he got, the Brahma Bull one. Yeah, that's wolf.
Yeah, I mean,
I didn't want to see it, but there was a moment where there was a little pause, and I was just like, oh shit, God no. And that was all I thought was he was going to come out and give him a third belt with Cody and Punk's. Like, mine matters too. I'm special.
He was nominated for a Golden Globe Award.
He was from a movie that I don't know one person who's seen. I would watch it if it was free streaming somewhere.
I wouldn't.
I would just out of morbid curiosity, I would hit the dispensary and have a interesting evening. No, just out of curiosity.
Yeah, put it that way, maybe.
For free. Yeah, 100%. Like, it's got to be on a streaming service that I already am paying for or getting totally legally from a friend. But like, and yeah, no, the dispensary's 3 blocks away. I would, hit there, smoke one of their pre-rolls on the way home and watch it. I don't think I'd make my wife watch it, but.
Oh, yeah, so all in all, I did enjoy the night. I just was down at the end. That's all. That's just me. Again, just me.
Yeah, but down at the end.
What's been the reaction online? Because again, I haven't looked at all. So I like to.
What you've got is people that feel what you feel, but are like, and not understanding any of it and only being mad. Which I think that's why Brad was saying that too, because most people's opinions have been. That are against it are so mad. Are they mad at
WWE and Triple H?
They're just whoever they want to be mad at is who they're blaming. No one's blaming Cena, which I find funny because definitely it's either WWE, Triple H.
Interesting.
I feel like most of it is anybody who's been like Triple H is racist, Triple H hates whatever. But they're pushing it towards him of like I hate him, which is ridiculous. But I don't want to say it's 50-50. For me, more of my timeline, and I will admit that I have muted so many sickos in my life. Like when somebody else reposts a sicko and it's stupid, I'll go look at their timeline. If I get like 2 scrolls and I've muted. I mute people. Like I don't block anybody, but I will mute the fuck out of people. And so most of what I've seen, like Don from the Maniacs was put he posted the same thing I did. Is like, I think it was perfect because he's not coming back. It's how you end it out. Even like Dis and Awful or like Dis wanted him to win, but like knew he wasn't going to. It was just like most. I think if you look at it rationally, which you have, you're like, look, I wanted him to win. It would have been great, but you understand why it didn't happen. I think the people that are mad or posting about it are mad. they have the first part and not the understanding part, which is really important.
Just to give you a little bit, when Brad and I were tweeting earlier yesterday, it was like a mini argument, like a casual argument. Like I wanted Cena to win. He explained, well, then you have a Sting situation. We were going back and forth for a while. It was fine. Brad tweets me back and just says, hey man, we agree to disagree. Let's see what happens tonight. It's like, yep, peace out. Gave him the peace sign, off we went. That's how shit's supposed to go, by the way.
Yes. That's how it is. You can disagree and not be like, you're horrible. Like, I don't know. Like, that's just, there's some point where we've switched to that as a society where it's like, and that happens, like, you see it with movie cultures and like anything else where it's like, and I'm just going to pick Star Wars to pick Star Wars. If like, oh, I like the prequels. Oh, well, you're the worst person ever. The prequels are terrible. Or like, well, nobody really likes the Disney sequels, but if somebody did, they would be the worst person ever. And it's like, for liking a movie, I've had people yell at me because and I jokingly say this because it's not, but it really makes certain people mad where I'm like, the Solo Star Wars movie, my favorite Star Wars movie. It's not, but it makes certain people so mad. And I'm like, you're getting mad at an opinion. This is not right.
Yeah, it's good. Just it's good. You can be passionate about an argument.
Yeah.
And like I'm passionate about when I argue. I don't get feisty very often, but when I do, I'm passionate about it. And I know what I'm doing. I'm not stupid. I'm smart enough to know what the facts are behind my argument. Like I know what I'm trying to present and I know what's out there. I'm not giving you the argument I'm giving you because I'm blaming Triple H. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm giving you the argument because I'm a fan of what I've been watching. Right. And that's all. I'm thinking with my heart, not my head.
Yeah. Right, but it's not one of those things where you're screaming at me like you're an idiot. How can you think that? Because I have a differing opinion, and that's what I like, and that's why when I get into stuff with people online, if people have like an intelligent or like even an informed discussion with me where they're presenting points, I will talk all day with them. But if it's just like you're a fucking idiot, you're stupid, I'll make jokes at them and they're like, oh, you have a podcast, you don't want to talk back. I'm like, you didn't present anything, you just name called because we have different opinions. That's what children do. I'm gonna go over here and be an adult.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, we can have fun. We can discuss.
I just like being able to talk to people and get into it. If anybody's on my side, that's awesome. If anybody's not, that's fine too. I don't care. I'm pretty easy to get along with.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's why we do that shit. We have like 3 or 4 of these discussions every week. Like it's fine.
I knew this one was gonna get a little more intense because I knew what your opinion was before. Obviously, we worked together. Obviously, we worked together, on our show. So I know what you were kind of thinking. I'm like, I'm not thinking that at all.
No, and that's good. No, I like that with it. There's been times where I was like, oh, we're going to differ on something, and we've had an agreement. I'm like, it's fine. Because, again, I would rather just give the opinions with it. It's truthful. This is how I felt about it, and I wasn't sure going into it, which was, I really wasn't. There was a part of me like, yeah, I wanted to win, but it made more sense this way. And that's why with the way it ended, I was like, well, what I wanted or what people logically, especially like if you look back at this years down the line, like just going to make sense. Like, and nobody had to jump off a ladder through a plane of glass. So,
that's the one benefit. Yeah.
That's the one benefit. Jason. Nobody had to almost murk themselves to.
But I do wonder. I was expecting a ref bump too. I really was.
The fact that I posted it even too right before and I said it with us where I was like, if Charles Robinson isn't the ref, we're getting a ref bump so he can run out. That was the only thing that didn't happen in the match, and it was fine, but I would have liked it there just because it was him, like Charles Robinson is the guy. Yeah. Maybe he's hurt, or maybe they've given him time off for the holidays. He's in his 60s. He doesn't need to,
he was on a recent show, so he's not hurt.
As far as I know, he's like head ref, and usually there's somebody posting a picture of him either setting up or taking down the ring before or after the show. He's still, and from everything I've seen, he's like the nicest human on the planet. When he's like, I was, when he wasn't reffing the match to start, I just expected that. And it's fine, it didn't happen, but I would have been cool to see, especially with that like tight little window, would have been a cool gif of him running down.
I would assume then in conclusion that Cena wanted all this to happen pretty much the way it went down, like the whole night in general. I'm assuming this was his idea, the whole thing.
I would think so. I mean, I would think what I thought was like when he said he was going to retire, he was like, look, we'll do whatever you guys want throughout, but I want the end. He might have even said, I want a tournament to decide it or however he decided, but I want the end to be NXT people versus top stars. And then I'm going to lose to Gunther, you know what I mean? Or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
He might have picked Gunther. I'm not sure, but I feel like he was like, that's how it was going to go. We're going to put a big show on that's going to, show off the young kids. We'll put them up against top stars, but there'll be non-canon exhibitions. Like he even used the term non-canon exhibitions.
Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah, but that's just to make people understand, like, this doesn't matter. It's not title for title. It's fine. And,
right.
But it worked. And with what the show was, I mean, think of how many people, especially casuals, like people that watched in, from 1998 to 2010, let's say, and no Cena, grew up with them, grew out of it or whatever, but thought like, saw the advertisements because this was advertised everywhere, or saw the hashtag of it and was like, all right, you know what? I will watch that. I have Peacock for whatever else I have it for. See some of these other kids, maybe they will watch. Probably not. But I mean, if you get,
and unfortunately, I'm sorry, go ahead.
How many viewers at it? No, I was just saying, if you get I don't know how many people watch it, but let's just say 3 million people watched it. If you get 100,000 out of that, that's not bad.
That would be work. But also, again, to my contradictory point, if you had someone that hasn't watched it in a while recognize Cena and they tuned in, they were pissed.
Maybe.
Like if you haven't seen Cena in like 5-6 years, you're like, oh, retirement matches be cool, and he loses, you're like, shit.
Yeah.
If you're casual, yes.
Yeah. I still feel like most people with wrestling understand, but we'll see. I mean, we'll see how it kind of goes out of it with it, but I feel like as I've sat on it more, and I did watch the whole match again this morning after I dropped my wife off at the airport and my soccer team shot to bed. I was awake. I'm like, well, I'm going to watch something I want to watch. And I watched it again, and it really, I really did enjoy it. I mean, the way it was a surprise, and they played it off like with Lillian Garcia being shocked by it, that made a lot of sense. I really enjoyed it. I have no criticism, no notes. All smiles.
The more I realize how inside of an actual bubble we actually are, it's interesting to me when I get outside of it and I ask people, or my son's not in this at all. My son likes wrestling, WWE, that's it.
Right.
Nothing else exists. Wants to know where Chris Jarrett, shit like that.
Right. Yeah.
Like being outside this bubble is a lot more pleasant. And it's a lot more innocent as well, because they really don't know. They're just there to have fun. And it's cool.
Yep. And I try to treat it that way a lot of big times, because there's, I've probably got like 4 or 5 friends in my life that are like my wrestling friends that live in different places or whatever. We grew up together. And there's like 2 of them. It's funny. One of them has like zero clue about AEW, just doesn't care, doesn't really watch it much. And one of the other ones is a full on AEW sicko. And the other 2 are kind of in between, where they watch all of WWE and will keep an eye on AEW with it. Both of them have been listening to our reviews more since we watch, so they don't have to. But it's one of those things that because we see it all the time in the bubble we're in, it's even, you hear it with people like when Cornette and Glass review AEW or review WWE, like, oh, we just saw this on AEW. Yeah, you did. We did because we watched it, but the people in the crowd and the millions of people that watch WWE, how many of them saw that, or how many of them care? Like, cause I can watch WWE and not think about what I saw at AEW impacting that, because it really doesn't to me, because why should they don't care what AEW is doing. Like, when they can make fun of them and when they can go up against them, great. But it's not like they're like looking at a calendar of like, oh, we got to go up against them. We got to tear them down. They're a little gnat on the side of their drink.
I guess my first real sign of that I really, really realized it for the first time. Remember when Jericho popped up after the NBA game on AEW TV, and people were going, just, where's he been? Why is he so fat? Stuff like that. I'll be conservative and I'll say that's 90% of the WWE crowd.
It is. And you hear it and that's why Punk, he made a couple,
and we talked about that? Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's made 2 or 3 really pretty good jokes if you know the story, and we would chuckle or know about, but you listen to the crowd. There's a corner, I always feel like, that one portion of people that, if you listen to it and in a, let's say 15,000 seat arena, like maybe 150, maybe 200 get it. So you hear a little, but nothing that would be like a big, like,
and they dropped it.
Would have been, yeah, exactly. And there's no point to it.
Right.
And now, like, they might, like, if, like, Punk sometimes when he gets like rambly will say certain things at points of it to do it, but it's not the focus. It's not the punchline because nobody gets it because nobody's watching.
They don't know. They just don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It's
I always found that to be great. It's one of the things I wish sometimes, like today, that's why I did that. I like to get outside and just do things and not be part of any of this.
I do too sometimes. Yeah.
I feel like I came in with a decent attitude today, so.
No, that's good. I appreciate it. I do the same kind of things sometimes. Like my wife will want to do certain things or certain times, but I can easily turn my notifications off and just stay away from my phone. I'll come back and be like, you have 32 notifications. Ah, crap. What happened? Usually it's nothing. Almost always nothing. Well, like when I got my 12-hour ban this week from Dave.
Good for you.
That happened. Yeah. We'll talk about that. I want to record it. It was fun. I literally said nothing and I got 3 minutes later, you're banned for 12 hours. Okay.
You said something.
No, here's what I said.
I know what you said.
Yeah, bag of dicks. I mean, come on.
So you're going to say it now. Awesome.
No, because it wasn't anything what happened. Mike Glass and I figured it out. Mike Glass figured it out. Dave, somebody has bots on it because he takes multiple reports to put that in. You can't multiple report by humans in 3.5 minutes. It was so quick. I think it was the deserved line.
You know what? If I'm him, I'm doing the same thing because I don't want people doing that to me. If I was that unpopular of a person on the internet,
I was gonna say then I guess. But if your business strategy is to just be a jerk to everybody, you gotta expect it back.
I'm just saying if I'm that type of dickhead, I'm doing the same thing.
Here's the thing: I purposely was always tagging Dave to piss him off. I now know that I've done that. I'm never tagging him again. I'm done with that. I literally was doing that to be a jerk. And if all it got me was a 12-hour ban, which happened at like 10 o'clock at night, by the way.
Yeah,
so I went to bed.
Like 10, 12 p.m. I'm like, okay, well, that's going to do no good at all whatsoever.
Right. Yeah, right. I woke up at like 8:30 the next morning and just had breakfast and then went on my phone. No big deal. Yeah.
All right. Let's tell people where to go on Thursday and wrap this shit up, shall we?
Yep. Oh, yeah. We will be live on this Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern on the AltJakeTakesOn YouTube channel, youtube.com/@AltJakeTakesOn, where we are going to review the 2 hours of Dynamite from this 3-hour excursion that AEW is doing from Manchester on Wednesday. I'm going to have to try to stay offline to see spoilers. I like to watch it without spoilers on it, but HBO Max should put that on right away, like when it airs. That would be much better. I could watch.
Okay, so you use HBO Max. Is it easy to find?
What I do is I just hit up on the search button, hit AE, and it shows right up. Okay. I looked for it, and when we first were doing this, I looked for it, and it was a pain in the ass. Like,
that's what I wanted to know.
So I just go up to the search tab and I bypassed it because it's easier that way.
Gotcha.
You'd think it would know that it doesn't recommend it to me. Like, it's not in my recommending. It doesn't care about it.
Yeah, it's not even there. Yeah.
It's like the only thing I've been watching on the HBO account the last 6 weeks.
Right.
They never put, I never get it offered to me to watch. It's like, hey, do you want to watch House of the Dragon? Yeah, I've already seen that.
I watch one stupid video on YouTube and I get recommendations for the next 5 weeks
from that channel I'll like watch 4 minutes of a video, like dislike it and back out. I'm like, that wasn't for me. Is this for you? Is this for you? No, I don't like how that channel's presented. I thought maybe, but I didn't like it. And then, we'll be back here next Sunday, 8:05 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, we'll keep it on Twitter for now, but if these audio issues, today was good. We had a 15-second blip and we've been good since, but if it happens again, we will, move this over to YouTube and simulcast it.
Yeah, it's not a big deal either way because you're still going to be able to listen to it here anyway.
Yeah, no, and honestly, with the way YouTube does the live hours, I get these things posted right away to it, and every watch hour on the replay crew through YouTube counts for us as the watch hours sometimes are a little wonky. So cool. Well, this was a lot of fun. I hope everybody got to get all the feelings out about John Cena's last match, and we will see what happens on Raw tomorrow, and we will catch you next time. Peace, everybody.
Take care, folks. Thank you very much.